Okay, so let's start up over here. So yesterday we went through the basic gemaras that were here, pointing out that although there is definitely a possible diak that can be made in our gemara that the entire sheet of Rabbi Gamliel, according to the Igad Amri, the Inami, is based on the power of Chazkas Aguf. Chazkas Aguf alone has the ability to be motzi mamon from the Baal. But there are other gemaras on the Zayin, on Amid Vav, that definitely resuscitated the need for the dynamic of a Bari V'Shem along with Chizkas Aguf. So that caused us, at least to raise as a question. So what exactly is the deal, according to Gamliel? What is the reason why the Ish is going to be Ne'emenes over here and gets her Ksub? Is that based on some kind of a combination of the Chizkas Aguf, plus the Bari? Is there some kind of machlokes between the Gemaras? So that's sort of where we left off at the end of yesterday. So we're going to pick up from there right now to run through hopefully the basics of our sugya over here. Now one thing that definitely does seem to come out from those other gemaras, the Daf Tezayin, about Torah Gamliel is only by Bari B'Shema, but not by Bari B'Bari. The same things when it came to the gemaras in Daf Lamed Vav. According to those gemaras, you definitely get the impression that the Gemara is assuming that according to Gamliel, the Chezkas Aguf alone is in fact not strong enough to be motzi mamon. In other words, we have this debate over here. Right? The guy is claiming Pesach, she's claiming Meisha nasty, but she has a Chezkas Aguf that's definitely supporting and standing on her side, showing that Mistama, she was a Pesula up until the latest possible time, Misha Erastani nasty, going in line with her taina. But the Gemara is mashma that's actually not really enough to be able to allow her to win her ksub. That's not going to be machri on her behalf. So the starting question we're going to deal with is why would that be true? Now, meaning to say, and to make it clear, there's definitely a mainstream school of thought in the Rishonim, which we're going to deal with as we go along, that believes that according to Gamliel, the real MS is that the Chezkas Aguf can, in fact, be able to be motzi mamon. There are different forms and different caveats that each one of the Rishonim have who do hold of that opinion. But for right now, we're going to look at things on the Pasha level based on those two other sugyos, that the Chezkas Aguf alone is not really totally enough to be able to be motzi mamon. So why is that so? Okay, so for starters, we're going to take a look at two basic ideas. We're going to come back to them later on because they're going to be reused really and revamped. But right now, as a starting point, we're going to make a comment of something based on a Pinei Yoshua and an idea based on a Tosis and Ramban. So let's begin. Pinei Yoshua here on our Gemara has a very interesting chiddush. She points out which is not only in the main Pinei Yoshua. Again, this is part of what's called the Kuntres Achron of the Pinei Yoshua, but it's mainly really in Daf Ayin Hey. So they've already explained that Lav Mishum Chazaka Lachud Mehemno. We don't believe her just based on her Chezkas Aguf. Mishum De'ikanami Bari V'Shema Hadi Chazaka. Like I've written in other places, you need the Chezkas Aguf in conjunction with the Bari V'Shema. Okay? Now, the Pinei Yoshua says, let me explain to you why. At first light, that you're actually going to be probably forced to say that, that has to be true. You're going to end up having a kind of a stira over here. What's the stira? Okay, so basically, Shmuel Paskins in our Gemara, that the Isha is Ne'emenes, like Rabbi Gamliel. And if you want to believe that the Chezkas Aguf is what wins, that means the Chezkas Aguf alone is powerful enough to win money away from somebody else. That's what would emerge from our sugya. Imkain Mashma, and says up in Yeshua, if that's true, then it would also be implied a svara. So I'm going to use that as a springboard. Mikol Shekain Baruba. It definitely should be the case then that a rove going in your favor should be enough to win the money from the other guy. Why? Now we know that the halacha is that when you have a rove and a chazaka, the rove is preferable and stronger than the power of a chazaka. So if chazaka, like a kavachomer, if a chazaka is able to be motzi mamon, kavachomer, a rove, should be able to be motzi mamon, and that would be what would happen from our sugya if we learn the sugya at face value. And says the Pnei Yoshua, but then I have a problem with that though. Because, well, the Shmuel, if Chashaminali, we know that Shmuel holds the exact opposite. And there's a klal that says, Ein holchem mamon acher harov. We don't follow a rove in order to award somebody money. The rove is not what's going to pass in a case in someone's favor to be motzi mamon from a muchzak. So I don't understand how it works. If a chazaka would be strong enough to be motzi mamon, it should have to be kol shekain that a rove should win. But Shmuel himself has that ein halachim mamon acher over rove doesn't win. So how do I deal with that? Ela korchach deprecious. It says in Yeshua, it gotta be what I just told you. The tavka bechezka bechazak b'hadibari b'shema kamer Shmuel ha'chadelach gamliel says in Yeshua, it has to be that you conclude like I told you that chazaka the chezka sakuf alone is not strong enough to be motzi mamon. But Chezka Zakuf plus the Bari B'Shema would be able to win, and therefore there actually is no stira between the two Piskei Halacha, between the two statements of Shmuel. Now, in summary, what we just said was, that Pnei Yoshua pointed out that the that the rule should end up being as follows. Okay, we're going to just take what the Pnei Yoshua said it and just reframe it a little bit. All the ideas are there, but just like we said, to frame it in a certain angle. Based on what the Pnei Yoshua just said, it sounds like the real reason why Chezkas Aguf alone should not be strong enough to be motzi mamon is plain and simply that we know that the rule is ein holchem mamon acher harov. Right? When it comes to the power of a muchzak is the all-powerful thing. A muchzak is even stronger than a rove, even though a rove is a very, very strong force in halacha, but nevertheless the muchzak is going to win over that. And we also know logically that the rule is that a rove is qualitatively stronger and greater in what it can accomplish than a chazaka. So if we don't use rove to be motzi mamon, to passing against someone else's chezkas mamon on your behalf, we're not going to be able to use a chezkas for any kind of chazaka to be able to pass it on my favor. So according to Pnei Yoshua, without totally explaining why this is the case, he just points out basically that we see from external klalim, from outside rules and outside information. For example, in Halchim Acharov, the muchzak is actually a very, very powerful thing. The fact that someone's a muchzak and is motzi mechavero al haraya is an all-powerful klal, and that beats out all the other kinds of rules that are there. Rove, we don't care about. Chezkas Aguf, yeah, it's a good thing, but it's not going to be enough to go against the Chezkas Mamon. Chezkas Mamon wins even against these kind of klalim. The only thing our Gemara is mechadesh is that when you have the Chezkas Aguf plus the Tainas Bari, that already is going to be stronger than the is going to be stronger than the Chezkas Mamon. Then the muchzak, we're going to explore why that's true in a couple of minutes. Now, that's idea number one. Why doesn't the Chezkas win? Because external, outside klalim, the outside rules of Fada Paskin, do not override a Chezkas Mamon. Rove doesn't work, and by extension, Chazak, which is weak in a rove, can't work either. The next idea that was found in a Tosfos on Lamed Vav. So we're going to jump to that Tosfos. Hopefully, you have your Gemaras with you. You can flip open the Tosfos there and read along with me, like we used to do in a Sesame Street of the election committee. And the emes is the same idea as found in the Milchemes Hashem that you have in number 9. It's a little bit more complicated to read in there. So we're going to just work with what Tosfos says, nice and clear. So Tosfos here in the Lamed Vav points out, based on the Gemara that we read yesterday, that a chareshes and a shota ein lehem tainas besulim. Okay, that when you have a chareshes and a besula, that get married, the Baal doesn't have a right to claim a tainas besulim to make her lose out on her chazaka, lose out on her ksuba. And if we remember the Gemara there, again, he did this in Bikiyas. We remember the Gemara there points out that, again, I'm going to explain the Gemara according to Rashi and Tosas. Others read the Gemara differently. The Balamor reads the Gemara differently. If you might have touched upon it in Bikiyas Seder. But according to Rashi and Tosas, the plan in the Gemara is Harib and Gamliel and Harib Yeshua. Rabbi Gamliel is the one who believes that there's no tainas besulim over here, that she's going to get her ksuba no matter what. Okay, meaning Rabbi Gamliel, the one who holds in our Mishnah that the woman who wins out is going to be the one who says that a chareshes and a shota also win her ksuba, and the reason why she wins her ksuba is, as the Gemara explains, based on the little psach picha le'ileim, we're going to do a move called ta'anina. We open up the mouth of the mute. We know that she can't taina for herself, but we're going to taina on her behalf. She could have said Misheras Tanina and Nasti, and ended up winning her full ksuba. We're going to do that on her behalf. Take a look what it says over here. It's a one line. At least I only gave you one line. It's a big toss. I gave you one line to do. I have 3 lines. Two and a quarter. Kasha the read. Heichi ta'anin lahachi mesafek lafuke mimon. I don't understand, the Re says. How do we have a right to make up a defense for this chereshes v'shoteh that's going to award her money we don't necessarily know 100% is hers. Given ihi lotana, she herself didn't give a taina. She didn't say misheras tanina. Now it's true, right? She's a chereshes or a shota. She can make the taina, but we don't really know what the truth is. So who says that we have a right to get up and make up a taina to be motzi mamon from the husband who's a muhsak? Maybe he's right. Maybe he keeps the money. Listen to Tosas explains why this is problematic to him. Cheskas gufa Israel. Now, after all, Tosas says her cheskas a guf that would have said that she probably was a basula, b'shas the erisin, is Israel. That chazaka was weakened. That chazaka was diminished. Shor shachot lefanecha. An expression you wanted to be kissed a couple of times. Shor shachot lefanecha, which means unmute. Shor shachot lefanecha means literally and figuratively. What does it mean?
That basically she came in as a basula, and now the fact that she was a baula, that's your problem.
Perfect, right? The little translation, because you have the dead shore in front of you, which means you have a crime scene on your hands. You have a problem right in front of you. We see she is a baula, so what you want to make up now? Maybe what we see is not really true. Maybe it happened. Maybe it happened today. Maybe it happened a year ago. I don't really know. But when the cheskas aguf of being a basula is in a situation of a reyasa, as Sosa says, "Kashor shachal lefanecha," the dead shore, the problem is right in front of you. Ba'ula lefanecha. How does she win? About cheskas mamon lo isra, and the husband's cheskas mamon wasn't shaky, wasn't decreased, diminished at all. He has a cheskas mamon. So why should we come along and give a taina on her behalf? Now, we're going to leave you in suspense over here. The suspense, of course, is we're not going to answer this question. Suffice it to say, if you read through, you'll see it does have terutzim. Why, despite what he just said is true, right? Nevertheless, we're able to give a taina on her behalf and help her win. The point that we want to extract from the Tosas is that Tosas tells us a very, very basic idea over here. The cheskas aguf is, in fact, not really all powerful for right now. Cheskas aguf has a reyasa, so we wouldn't be comfortable with what Tosas is saying. He's just automatically awarding her ksuba money based on the cheskas aguf alone. The cheskas aguf has a reyasa. Cheskas aguf is faulty over here. Like I said, that idea that there's a reyes on the cheskas aguf because the rule of Fanecha is echoed by the Ramban. Later on also. Should I use the phone? Is that going to be better? Wait now.
Rebbe was breaking up. So
What's up?
when Rebbe started explaining it to us.
I'm actually not hearing you either. What is the current status? Can you hear or not hear?
So, okay.
I think the volume's good. I don't hear an echo or anything. So.
Okay, that's good to hear. Excuse me, my screen is like slow, but I'm hearing the echo still. Okay, so let's sort of pick up where we left off. We just saw that the Tosis on Daf Lamed Vav brings down the idea that the Chazkat Aguf that says she was a Basula and therefore she gets the full Ksuba, that Chazkat Aguf can't win and can't be Motzi Mamon on your behalf. Tosis says there's a Reyes in that Chazaka, that's what Yosef had just pointed out, that's Shor Shachal Lefanecha, meaning she's a Ba'ula Lefanecha, and you're not going to be able to be Motzi Mamon with such a Chazaka. Now, it's very clear that Tosis and the Tanei Yoshua are looking at this in two totally different angles. According to Tosis, the Chazaka itself has a Reyes, so the Chazaka can't win. It doesn't mean that there might not be other examples of what we call good, legitimate, fully functional Chazakas that maybe could win against the Chezkas Mamon. But in this particular case, when you have a Shor Shachal Lefanecha, the Chezkas Aguf certainly cannot win against the Chezkas Mamon. She's a Bula Fanecha, you can win. Whereas according to Bnei Yoshua, the rule was, again, that he used, this comparison that he made to the other, klalim that exist in Shas, and the Bnei Yoshua says, listen, Chazaka can't, win because, Rov can't win against a Chazkas Mamon, so Kolshik and a Chazaka can't win. This was much more of a general, general principle according to the Bnei Yoshua than what the Tosa says. That just tells us in our particular case, you have that Reyes of the Ba'ula Lefanecha. But either way, right? So those are two reasons that are given for why you might think that the Chezkas Aguf is not going to be able to win in this case over here. Now, Lamaisa, we are finding though that even though we haven't yet seen all of the the different explanations yet, but even though the Chezkas Aguf by itself can't win, but this combination of the Chezkas Aguf plus the Bari V'Shema does seem to be able to work. And so now we're going to take a couple of minutes to explore that. Why or how does that particular combination win, and what does that do for us? So let's jump very quickly first onto Daf Tezayin again before we see the Balamor that we're going to be looking at soon. But please make sure to jump to Tezayin. So the Gemara is on actually not where you read, but to the bottom of Tezayin and Aleph. So let's remind ourselves of what we saw in that Mishnah, just to get the Gemara down clear. The Mishnah had the case of a woman who was very clearly known to be either a Gerusha or an Almana, right? But she was claiming Besula and Sasani, and I get the full Ksuba, 200 Zuz. The husband is claiming, no, I married you as an Almana and a Gerusha. You're already in a Sua, just in a Sua with a, with a Ksuba of 100. So the Gemara Paskin that if there are Eidim that she was a Besula, she can get the full 200 Zuz. And the Gemara over here was bothered, as we discussed yesterday, like, why do you need Eidim? What happened to the girl like Reverend Gamliel? Reverend Gamliel says, that she managed, she gets the whole, the full amount of money, Chezkas Aguf and all of that. What happened to, or Tainas Bari? Like, what happened to that? That was the opening part of the Gemara. Take a look for a minute, go all the way down to the bottom of Tezayin and Aleph, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down from the bottom. So the Gemara makes a very interesting comment. The Gemara here says, again, I'm sort of picking up in the middle of something that you'll have very quickly what's happening. Given the rove nashim besulos nisos, says the Gemara, we know that there's a rove. Most people get married. The rove of the nashim will get married are besulos. Okay, so she automatically has a rove in her favor that says that she probably was a besul when she got married. So kilo also Eidim, even if there are no Eidim that can be made on her behalf, the my heavy, why does that really matter? I mean, there's a rove that says that she should win. So Amaravina, the Gemara gives a couple of periods. Let's just read the Gemara. Amaravina, number one, Mishum Dikala Meimar, you could have always said that rove nashim besulos nisos, but miyut almanos. There's always that miyut that are not besulos when they get married. The kol misos, and he says besulo yesh lakol. And when someone, I'm actually just going to paraphrase the next couple of lines, and most of the time, which is the way the maskana in 3 lines is, most of the time, when a basula gets married, there's a kol. People know about it, a wedding, a chasana, and this and that. And there was no kol over here that she was a basula. We don't really know. So the fact that there was no kol that floated around that she was a basula, there's a little reyes in the rove, and therefore the rove is not really going to help, and you're not able to win. Okay? Now, simple reading of that Gemara implies that the reason why the rove doesn't win to get her the ksuba is because there's a reyes in the rove. There's a problem with the rove. Had there not been that reyes, so that, why is there no call? Why don't people hear about it? None of the neighbors know. People aren't talking about the big wedding and all of that. So that it's like a reyes, right? But mashma that had there not been that reyes, we would have given her the ksuba based on the fact that there's a rove. Okay, so take a look at the bottom tosis on the Amid, the bottom left corner over here. Kevin the rove nashim besulos nisos kileka edom my heavy. What does it matter if there are no edom, but like there's a rove in her favor? Says tosis l'rav parich. This Gemara is only asking its kasha on the sheet of Rav. The islay holkem a moment acharov. Rav holds them bavakama memvav bavasit tzadi days. Rav holds. Not like Shmuel, but Rav holds that holchem b'maman acharov, and Tosafos says that this Gemara is assuming like the opinion that a rove will win in a gini mam. In this case, now we happen to know like Shmuel that ain't holchem b'maman acharov, so we wouldn't be bothered by this kasha. But the Gemara is asking a kasha according to the sheet of Rav that you're able to use a rove to be motzi mama. Again, I don't know if it's printed in your Gemara, but in a classic Gemara right next to the Tosis, there is a Tosis Yeshanim, Tuf Yud, a Tosis Yeshanim, and then Misame after the word Achar Rov, the last 2 words of Tosis, there's some note, footnote, some, sign, sending you to look at something, but in a regular Gemara it's right next to it. And the Tosis Yeshanim here says very interesting. It says, Efshar the Afilu the Shmuel, Heavy Mama Mezo Basa Ruba, Velo Achar Chezkaz Mamon. Says it could be that in this case over here, even though Shmuel is normally the one who holds of the idea of Ein Holchem B'maman Acharov, he might have said that when she has this Chazkas Aguf going in her favor, we're actually going to use the rove Nashim will get married or Besulos to pass in her favor. Given the Chazkas Aguf Misayeh L'Rov, because after all, the Chazkas Aguf is supporting the rove. Says she's a basula. There's a rove that she's a basula. So maybe the Gemara is asking Parach Shapi or Fila Alibe the Shmuel Kai Amayd Yamin Amael Kevin the Rov Nashim Basulas Nisef they bari Didei Kishema the bari Bishema Pasek Shmuel Karama Gamliel. I read a lot of words. Let me just paraphrase quickly. So the Gemara is saying, listen, according to Shmuel, that you're allowed to use the rove to win a mum in this case. So I basically now have over here the following scenario. Rove Nashim get married when they're Besulos, which would mean that the husband's Tainas Bari is a little bit more wimpy, and her Tainas Bari is stronger. You have Bari Vashem in her favor, right? Chezkas the Guf in her favor, Rove in her favor. So the Gemara is asking, why shouldn't she win? Why do you need Adim to say that she's a Besula? And so even by their pasuk, after all, according to one lashon in the first parak, the chezkas aguf is supposed to win, and the hachi parach, and after the Gemara says, hey, why do we follow the rove, the sakadaita, the rove gama? We're thinking it's a real full rove, so why shouldn't that win? Okay, so Tozi Shana makes a point of saying that this Gemara that let the girl win because rove nashim are besulos and they get married, that's even according to Shmuel. And the reason why that's true is because even though Shmuel normally holds that ein holchem mamam and achar rove, when you have a chezkas aguf to help out, you're able to win. And as Tozi Shana points out, after all, some hold that according to Shmuel, like just the Chazkas, the Guf alone could win, so why shouldn't this win over here? Now we jump to the Baal Amor. It is already back in your mind. Makamos, here we're back home. The Feyam at Beis and Dapa Yarif. Says the Baal Amor. Again, I hope you have it open in front of you. We're gonna read the Baal Amor inside now. Says the Baal Amor as follows. It's the Dimar Maschil. Did I go to the Rashi? Yeah. Kaven the Rov Nashim Besulos Nisos Kilo Adam Mai Heavy. I think Gemara asks, listen, there's a Rov. Why does it matter to me that if there are no Adim saying that they know she got married when she's a Basula, she should get the full Basula Ksuba anyway? The Baal Amor starts off with a Rav Kamakshe. This is a question only according to Rav. Remember, I pointed out, Rav holds that Holchem Maman Acharov, the Rov can win for you. Because the Kamakshe lay Mine Baba Basra. Just like we find in Baba Basra, the Gemara asks questions on, or based on, I should say, the Shita of Rav who holds that you follow a Rov and Dini Mamas. We're doing the same thing over here. And then the Baal Amor continues. The Yesh Lomar, but you could say, Yafilu Shmuel. Maybe this question of the Rov should win, this is a very, very key Baal Amor right now. Maybe that's also true according to Shmuel. Kilomar, meaning, we should believe her, even though normally the rule 100% is that Ein Holchem Maman Acharov, but we believe her Mishum Dahacha Ika Terti. Over here, the Baal Amor says Ika Terti. There are two things that exist. What are the Terti? What are the two things? Ruba, the Rov that says Rov Nashim Besulos Nisos, and Chazaka de Gufa. Vahacha, and on his side, going for the Baal, Chada. He just has one thing. He has a Chazaka de Mamona. He has a Chazkas Mamon. So when you have one Chazkas Mamon on the husband's side, two things, two factors, a Chazkas, a Guf, and a Rov on the woman's side, so she should win. Listen to the Baal Amor now. It says, Midi de heavy atana misheirastani ne'enasti the mehemnala mishum haytaima the hacha terti the hacha chatan. Says the Baal Amor, this is the key part for us, this is why we're doing the Baal Amor. Says the Baal Amor says, and that principle that two factors beat out one factor is based on our Gemara, and that's you base them at base, where the Gemara says when you say misheirastani ne'enasti, she's ne'emenes because she has two things and the husband only has one. Now, Baal Amor didn't totally explain this, but we're able to be a little bit, creative because we understand exactly what he means, right? And our Gemara over here, what are the two things? I mean, this is, again, a unmute and interact and participate moment. What are the two things that she has going for her, on her side, on her behalf, and our Sugya?
Chazkas Aguf and Bari V'Shama.
Chazkas Aguf and Bari V'Shama. Two things against his Chazkas Mama. Baal just continues. Hachagabi Dida, V'Ketarti Bari V'Chazkas Aguf. Hachagabi Dida Chada V'Chazkas Dimamona, and a weak wimpy Taina Shema. So the Baal Amor over here just said a very, very important principle. Again, we're going to test the waters of this, as we're continuing. Right now, we're just getting the ideas. Baal Amor says our Gemara has a chiddush, okay? And again, he's learning this chiddush from our Gemara. He's applying it to the Gemara in Daf Tezayin, but he's learning the principle from our Gemara over here by Rabban Gamliel, that the Yesod Adava by Rabban Gamliel is a very interesting twist. It's a pure numbers game. If you have two principles that work in your favor, and the opposing side only has one principle, for example, the Chezkas Mamon that goes in his favor, two principles beats out against one. Meaning, according to the Baal Amor, we're not looking at the relative or qualitative strength of the principles that are working on our behalf. We're not going to say, well, the Chezkas Mamon is very, very, very strong, and even the combination of this plus that maybe can beat out the Chezkas Mamon. We could have maybe looked at that on a qualitative level. One of the sides might actually be more weighty and more significant. Says the Baal Amor, no. Our Gemara is teaching us a rule. Gamliel says she wins because she has a mere two factors going in her behalf. Right? She has the idea of a Chezkas Aguf. She has a Tainas Bari, which according to some, is going to be able to win. Oh, she has two things, and he only has one. Oh, she's automatically going to win. Two against one. The principle of the Baal Mor calls parity. Right? When you have two factors, that's going to win out. Now, to rephrase the Baal Mor, remember we began the question, is it a Chazkat Aguf alone that's winning? Very clear according to the Baal Mor, it's not, right? But what's also clear according to the Baal Mor is that there's no dominant or primary factor over here, right? In other words, what's winning is the fact that you have the two kloim on your side, not that either one is going to be, bolstering or strengthening the other. No, the mere fact that you have two things going for you and he only has one, I'll leave it to Baal Mor, that's going to be enough to win. Now, we remember the Shita Yeshana. We're up to number 7 on the Rambam. It's Shita Yeshana quoted by the Shita Mumetzes that we saw, whether it was yesterday or the day before. The Shita Yeshana had a very, very different idea that was there. According to the Shita Yeshana, hold on, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
my screen started doing weird things. Okay, so if I disappear, I guess you won't be able to tell me anyway, but since my Zoom is not responding, I don't know what that means, but, and I just white it out, but I hope this is still good. So according to the Shita Yeshana that we saw the other day, if you remember, he spoke about an idea that, maybe normally we're going to say that he was speaking on Migo Lahotzi. Migo Lahotzi, there's no Amina, but if there's a Tam V'Raglayim L'Davar, right, then you're able to win. And if you look back at that Shita Yeshana, he applied the same principle to our Gemara. You might not use like the Chazkas Aguf to be able to win, or the Bari V'Shema is not by itself going to be able to win. But when you have the Tam V'Raglayim L'Davar, you're going to be able to use that Chazaka to be able to win. Again, it's going to, if you flip back on your own afterwards, to the Shita Yeshana to be able to see exactly how exactly it came along and said that. The Chazaka is the Tam V'Raglayim, the Davar, that helps the Tainas Bari win. That seems to be the Nisuach, the formulation of the Shita Yeshana. Now, according to that Shita Yeshana, right, our Gemara is not being mechadish a principle called the tarti. If there are two factors, two rules that you're going to win, according to our Gemara, this actually, according to the Shita Yeshana rather, this Gemara actually is like the classic idea, Bari V'Shema Bari Adif. It says that the Bari is only Adif because it has the support, the Tam V'Raglayim L'Davar, that the Chazkat Aguf is going to provide. But ultimately, what's winning the Mamon for this Isha, according to Rabbi Gamliel, is the Tainas Bari, the Bari. Okay, and that was the Shita of the Shita Yeshana. Chazering over quickly. According to the Baal Mor, what wins is Tarti. According to the Shita Yeshana, what wins is the Bari V'Shema dynamic, but only because the Bari is supported by the Chazkas Aguf. Okay? Now, when we're moving along right now, we're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at it as the Melchamos in number 9. So the Baal Mor there is being used as a foil against the other opinions. But let's take a look quickly at the Ramban. But let's note actually before we see the Ramban. Let's note according to the Ramban. According to the Baal Mor according to Shita Yeshana that we just saw. There's a very, very significant nafkamina in the way the Shita Yeshana had just learned. Because according to the Shita Yeshana, all Rabbi Gamliel is saying is that this is an exception to the rule of Bari V'Shema Lav Bari Adif, and this is an example where the Bari is in fact Adif. Right? This is the example of Nachman holds like Rav Huna of Yehuda, that Bari is Adif because it's supported by the Chazaka. Okay? Remember the Baal Mor that we saw a couple of minutes ago, the idea of tarti, right? So what did the Baal Mor do? If you look at that Baal Mor, we're paying attention when you were reading it, the Baal Mor takes our Gemara, and the tarti, the two factors in our Gemara were, one more time, Chaim, she has a Chazkas Aguf plus
Bari V'Shema.
plus in our Gemara plus the Baruch Shema. And the Balamor says we should be able to use the same principle. And what was going on in that Tezayin? You have the Chazkat Aguf plus one word. The majority of you should get it. Like unmute.
Rove.
Yeah, Rove. How about that? Okay. Don't tell me. When I see you guys, so you have the Chazkat Aguf in conjunction with the Rove. Now, I see that the Balamor basically just says that as long as I can find two factors going for you, you're going to win, right? According to the Shita Yeshana, no, this is purely a function of the idea of Bari V'Shema. There has to be Tainas Bari, you have to have a Tainas Shema, and that's going to win against the Chazkas Mamon because you have the support of that Chazkas Aguf, what he calls a Tam V'Raglayim L'Davar. But it doesn't mean, according to the Shita Yeshana, if I was to lump together Chazkas Aguf plus a Rove, right, I have no reason to think that would actually win according to the Shita Yeshana, because I don't care that there are two things going in your favor. Okay, now let's jump to Melchamos here. Melchamos is fascinating, and like I said, I'm going to try to save a little time and not do the Balamor so much on that particular Gemara. I apologize for the inconvenience. I definitely try to read on your own. On the Balamor is one of the Rishonim who have a very different reading of what was taking place on that Zion. As I wanted to see because it might have helped with the Ramban. But right now we're just going to look at the key lines of the Ramban that are here. Again, I don't know what printing you have, so they might all be in different, slightly different places. So I'm going to start off in the what I'm going to call the middle of the Dibra Maskil. Now I'm going to read the words inside. Ad kanlo boy Rabbi Gamliel taina elagabe noziisha v'lo masula b'sula. Rabbi Gamliel only requires that there's to be some kind of tainas bari on behalf of the isha when you have a case like ours, where, as he says, gabe nose isha v'lo masula b'sulim she'omali ta'anasa ein cheskasa klum. Explains the Bala, explains the Muhammad, explains the Ramban. Okay? In our example, if it wasn't for her taina, the chazaka that she has, the chazkas aguf, wouldn't really be able to win. Sharei ba'ulahi she'ein la b'sulim. Now this is the part of the Ramban that I said sounds similar to the Tosas on the Lamed Rov. The reason why the chazaka doesn't work on her favor is because harei ba'ulahi, she is a ba'ula now, etc. So says the Melchamas one more time, okay? If not for her taina, we wouldn't really be able to apply the chazaka. Ubeshvil chezkas gufa ne'emenes liton taina acheres lahamed chazaka rishona. And the idea is going to be the Balamor. The Ramban says over here. Again, when he's explaining Rabbi Gamliel. All the time. The chazaka alone, the chazkas aguf, is not so strong because she's a ba'ula in front of us. Okay? The shvil chazkas gufa ne'emenes liton taina acheres lahamid chazaka rishona. That's a very important phrase in the Ramban. So what the chazkas aguf does is it allows me, the shvil chazkas aguf, because of the chazkas aguf, the chazkas aguf allows me to say that she's ne'emenes with her taina to be able to keep her ksuba in place. Okay? What does that mean? What does that mean? So I'll tell you what pshat very, very quickly that was offered by Baruch Be'er in the Birkat Shmuel. It's found in Simon Kav Beis over here in Masechet Ksubas. Baruch Be'er explains what the Ramban means as follows. There's a very mistaber pshat in the Ramban. Truth be told, again, like I said, and this is following in the derech of what Tosas said. Truth be told, the chezkas aguf should win. Okay? Habayahi, the problem is that the chezkas aguf is a reyes. So what was the reyes in the chezkas aguf? That
she's a ba'ula.
A ba'ula. So look in the words now of the Ramban one more time. Okay? El mali ta'inasa ein chezkas aklum. If not for her taina, the chazaka wouldn't work. So now let's follow that thought that the Ramban has. If not for the time the chazaka couldn't work, but with the chazaka that she had, with her taina, rather with her taina's bari, what does the taina's bari do for us? For sure, the pleasure thing to say right now is, yeah, the taina's bari helps us explain why our chazaka is really, why our cheskas aguf is really true. The taina's bari removes, if you will, the reyasa that was there on the chazaka. What was the reyasa one more time? The question on the chazaka, why that doesn't automatically win for her is because she's a
Ula.
She's a bula right now. So we scratch our heads and say, bula, that's a problem. Maybe bula's not a problem. You know why bula's not a problem? Because she has what?
A bar.
Someone else other than Chaim Friedman or Yossi Silver? Great. How about that? Okay. So the way the Ramban is going like this is like this. One more time. Her Chizkas Aguf has the Reyasa. She's a Bu'ula Lefanecha, right? But I scratched my head and say, yeah, but so wait. When did that happen? Is it possible that she could be Bu'ula Lefanecha and she still gets the full ksuba of 200 zuz? Oh yeah, that's possible. You know, and as a matter of fact, she's even tinying that. That's exactly what happened. I'm telling you with the tiny bari that it didn't matter. I mean, she was tiny and nasty. That's okay. I can explain to you why that doesn't change the chazaka. You hear the idea? Right? So according to the Ramban, what's really winning is the Chezkas Aguf. The Chezkas Aguf wins the case on her behalf. Yeah? The only thing is that I have to be able to address the fact that there's a reyes, and the way we address the fact that there's a reyes is to, drumroll please, how do I neutralize the reyes?
By making a tainus bari.
Making it a tainus bari. Making it a tainus bari. Very, very good. Okay. Let's try to forge ahead a little bit over here. We're going to point out, just remind ourselves, we pointed out yesterday, the language of the Gemara actually fits like really, really smoothly with the Milchamos over here. Right? Remember the point we made yesterday, where the Gemara says, I just want to open back to the right page. Let's open back to the right page. We're on that few days. Right, the Gemara said when it came to the answer about amigo, the Gemara says, Hasam the Ika migo. There is a migo, right? And over here the Gemara says, Amriman ukma achazaka. Someone want to explain to the diak we made yesterday?
We said that Ika could be is with the time with the bar v'shema. When it says damrinon, it could be by its own thing.
Okay, right. And now we're just focusing on the inami, right? We say, there's a chazaka, ukma chazaka. We apply the chazaka, right? So it's definitely very easily readable in at the Gemara, especially if you can fact that the Gemara two different ways of expressing itself. It's very possible here the Gemara is in fact pointing at another cheskas aguf wins. So according to Ramban, that makes a lot of sense, right? The cheskas aguf wins, but the reason why he wins is because the Tainus Bari helps us polish the chazaka a little bit. It tells us why the chazaka doesn't have a reyasa. Okay? Let's go back over the other two mahalchim that we saw over here. According to the Baal Amor, yeah? Well, are we saying that the chazaka wins according to the Baal Amor?
No.
Huh? What wins? What wins according to Baal Amor? Give me one word. Not two words, but one word.
Factors.
Give me the Baal Amor's word. Aramaic number. What do you think? Okay, so according to Balamor, we have what he called, you have terti, right? You have two things. Now, neither side is really the dominant side. The Chazak is not winning, meaning Chazak is not winning, the time is not winning. You have two things going for you. According to the Shita Yashana, what's really winning over here was the Taina's Bari. Bari being supported by the Chazaka. According to Ramban in the Melchamos, so he's the first Rishon, early Rishon, that clearly says that what's happening in our Gemara is that the Chazaka is going to win, and the role of the Tainus Bari, one more time, is purely there to help defend the use of the Chazkat Aguf. It's not a problem that there's a Chazkat. There's no Reyes over here, and that's what the Tainus Bari is going to be able to accomplish according to that, and that's why the Gemara says, Amrina, and we say, right, Ukma Chazaka. We're going to apply a Chazaka. Right? Because that's the din, so to speak. That's there. Okay. Moving right along. Even though I'm a little pressed to get up, but let's just try to go like a step weiter over here. There's like some discussion points in between 9 and 10. But let's jump a little bit further over here, the bridge into number 10. So what's happening according to some of the Mepharshim, the Chazkat Aguf, let's say like according to the Ramban, right? The Chazkat Aguf wins over here, and it grants her the Ksula money. So remember, the Pnei Yeshua at the beginning of today started off pointing out that's problematic. I would have thought that there's a Kal V'chomer. Right? If Rove doesn't work to get you money, and a Chazaka is stronger than a Rove, and the Rove is stronger than a Chazaka, so, why can't we just randomly let like that? So it says according to Pnei Yeshua, when we phrase it, we're sort of left with the Pnei Yeshua's question right now, according to a bunch of the Shitos that exist here in the Rishonim. And the Ramban was of the opinion very clearly that the Chazkas Aguf is able to win out against the Chazkas Mamon. So why is that? Pnei Yeshua has a good point. Ruba v'chazak, Rove doesn't work, so Chazaka shouldn't work. Well, what's the difference between the two? Yeah? Just do a show of hands again. Who got past this? Gizim Muhammad felt pretty comfortable with it and started the shach.
I mean, we read it, but we didn't really read it. We didn't learn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're asking everybody now to sit down. Try to go through with the Makars that we learned today. The Makars back on the sheet. A little bit more carefully. Try to pull out all of these things. Hopefully, add a little more background on it also in terms of what they're actually talking about. We're going to call things for today. I don't want to rush like the next Maramaka. I mean, it's going to take a little while to explain. Yeah, and so that is basically going to be that. So we're going to call it over here. Let me break it down into Chavrusa rooms.